the Mad Hatter. I'm here to read for everyone a very special part of Alice's Adventure in Wonderland. I like too much this book because I know it. Oh, the part I'm going to read is the about the Mad Tea Party. What good would be better for a workbook day for me to read than about my merry birthday party? Oh, just a minute. Drinking a little of my curiosity and creativity to ready myself to read for you. Oh, I lost my copy of my book. Alice take it, but she lent me this book thingy here. I'm still a little confused with this thing. It's a little mad for me, but I like it. This is very nice. Anyway, before we start, let us talk how things are now. Oh, there's that little girl Alice that he got around and tried to catch the white rabbit and fell in the rabbit in the rabbit hole and got in Wonderland. He took and saw lots of mad things. He started to with those drink me and eat me thing that make him fall. With first grow small and grow get shrink and grow shrink and grow shrink and grow, and then she got really mad and she even when she was with the caucus. She got into the caucus race, and then she got with the doodly-doo, and she found lots of mad guys like me. But me, she found a little bit later. But oh, before this point, she found the duchess and the baby. But the baby was in fact a pig, and for some reason there was pepper everywhere. Oh, believe me, this is really mad, really mad, but it was this rhythm. And then she found the Cheshire Cat, and the Cheshire Cat said she should find me or the March Hare, but we are both mad. She tried to find the March Hare first, but she thought that was a bad idea to see the March Hare because the March Hare's house has big ears as chimney and has stuffed up belt over the hoof. Anyway, and then she got in my house when we are having the part of our times with in my birthday party. Oh, now let's get started, right? Chapter 7, A Mad Tea Party. There was a table set out under a tree in front of the house, and the March Hare and the Hatter were having tea at it, and their mouse was sitting between them, fast asleep, and the other two were using it as a cushion, resting their elbows on it, and talking over its head. Very uncomfortable for the dormouse, thought Alice. Only, as it's asleep, I suppose it doesn't mind. Oh, the dormouse, she fell asleep. She was so tired of doing nothing. Anyway, back. The table was a large one, but the three were all crowded together at one corner of it. No room, they cried out when they saw Alice come. There is plenty of room, said Alice indignantly, and she sat down in a large armchair at one end of the table. Believe me, boys and girls, being party crashers are not a good thing at all. You see, Alice was a party crasher. We really had no space for her, as we all know now. Okay, back. Have some wine, the March Hare said in an encouraging tone. Alice looked all around at the table, but there was nothing on it but tea. don't see any wine, she remarked. There isn't any, said the March Hare. Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer it, said Alice. Oh, say about the spoiled girl. It wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited, said the March Hare. I didn't know it was your table, said Alice. It's laid for a great many more than 3. Your hair wants cutting, said the Mad Hatter, like me. In fact, me. He had been looking at Alice for some time with great curiosity, and this was his first speech. You should learn to not make personal remarks, Alice said with some severity. It's very rude. Oh, this thing has a oh, look, it was the party. Let me see something. Yeah. Whoa. The guy that done this picture had not made justice for my prettiness and elegance. Anyway, back. The Raptor opened your eyes very wide on hearing this, but all he said was, why is a raven like a white-winged desk? Kids, this is a very important thing to learn. Come, we shall have some fun now, thought Alice. I'm glad they began asking riddles. I believe I can guess that, she said aloud. She added aloud. Oh, do you mean that you think you can find out the answer of it, said the March Hare. Exactly so, said Alice. Then you should say what you mean. The March Hare went on. I do, Alice hastily replied. At least I mean what I say. It's the same thing, you know. Not the same thing a bit, said B. You might just as well say that I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see. You might just as well say, added the March Hare, that I like what I get is the same thing as I get what I like. You might just as well say, added the Dormouse, who seemed to be talking in his sleep, that I breathe when I sleep is the same thing as I sleep when I breathe. Oh, Dormouse, he was saying he is a sleep talker. It's like a sleepwalker, but someone that talks when they sleep. Anyway, back. It is the same thing with you, said the Hatter, and here the conversation dropped, and the party sat silent for a minute while Alice thought over all she could remember about havens and writing desks, which wasn't very much. Oh, think she need to learn about ravens and writing desks. A writing desk, writing on it, writing over it, and a raven is a very, very pretty bird. Anyway, the Hatter was the first to break the silence. What day of month is this? He said, turning on Alice. He had taken his watch out of his pocket and was looking at it uneasily, shaking it every now and then, and holding it with his ear. Oh, I believe that. Oh, no. Oh, bad. It was this guy here. See, it was a birthday present from my friend. It was a very special birthday present from my friend, the White Rabbit. Anyway, let me see. Oh, a little confused here. Just a minute. Oh, here. Okay, backpack. Uh, Alice considered it a little, and then said, "The fourth. 2 days wrong," sighed the Hatter. I told you, but the wouldn't suit the works," he added, looking angry for the March Hare. "Believe me, this clock didn't work since the March Hare messed with it. Believe me, she put some kind of yucky things inside the, the clocks. She's the worst clock maker you could believe, and this is a match." Oh, it was the best butter, the March Hare meekly replied. "Yes, but some crumbs must have got in as well," the Hatter grumbled. "You shouldn't have put it in with the bread knife." The March Hare took the watch and looked at it gloomily. Then he dipped it into his clock in his cup of tea and looked at it again. But he couldn't think on nothing better to say than his first remark. "It was the best butter, you know." After Alice had been looking over his shoulder with some curiosity. "What a funny watch," she remarked. "It tells the day of the month and doesn't tell what o'clock it is." "Why should it?" muttered the Hatter. "Does your watch tell you what year it is?" "Of course not," Alice replied rather radically. "But that's because it stays the same year for such a long time together. Which is just the case with mine. Say me. I say it for her." Anyway, Alice felt dreadfully puzzled. The Hatter remark seemed to have no sort of meaning in it, and yet it was certainly English. "I didn't quite understand you," she said as politely as she could. "Oh, she's mad girl. She should believe me. I speak perfectly clear nonsense." "The Dormouse is sleeping again," said the Hat, and he poured a little hot tea upon its nose. The Dormouse shook its head impatiently, let's say, without opening its eye. Of course. Just was I'm going to remark myself." "Have you guessed the riddle yet?" I asked to Alice again. "Oh no, I gave it up," Alice replied. "What's the answer?" Spoiler, I haven't the slightest idea. I said. "Nor I," said the March Hare. Alice sighed well. "I think you might do something better with the time," then she said, "than wasting it asking riddles that have no answers. If you knew time as well as I do," I said, "you wouldn't talk about wasting it. It's him." Oh, believe me, he has a very big problem with this. "I don't know what you mean," said Alice. "Of course you don't," I say, tossing the hat completely. "I dare say you never, ever spoke to time." "Perhaps not," Alice culturally replied. "But I know I have to beat time when I learn music." "Ah, that's account for it," I said. "You won't stand in beating. Now, if you only kept on good terms with him, he'd do almost anything you like it with the clock. For instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock in the morning, just time to begin lessons. You'd only have to whisper a hint to time, and round goes the clock in a twinkling. Past 1:30. Time for dinner. I only wished it was, said the March Hare to himself in a whisper. That would be grand, certainly, said Alice thoughtfully. But then, I shouldn't be hungry for it, you know. Not at first, perhaps, I said, but you could keep it to 1:30, as long as you liked. Is that the way you manage? Alice asked. The hatter shook his head mournfully. Nor I, he replied. We quarreled last March, just before he went mad, you know. Pointing the teaspoon at the March Hare. The March Hare is really mad. It was at the great concert given by the Queen of Hearts, and I had to sing. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you want. You know the song, perhaps? I heard of something like it, says Alice. It goes on, you know. I continue. Up this way. Up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle. Here the dormouse shook himself and began to sing in his twinkle, 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 twinkle. And went on so long that they had to pinch it to make it stop. Well, I'd hardly finished the first verse, said the hat. Then the queen jumped up and bawled up, He's murdering the time! Off with his head! Oh, believe me, sometimes the Queen of Hearts is mad. What can I say? How dreadful savage! Exclaimed Alice. And ever since that, the hatter went on a mournful tone. He won't do a thing I ask. It's almost 6 o'clock now. A bright idea came into Alice's head. Is that the reason that so many tea things are put out here? She asked. Yes, that is, I said with a sigh. It was always tea time, and we have no time to wash the things between whiles. Then you keep moving around, I suppose, said Alice. Exactly so, I said, as the things get used up. But what happened when you come to the beginning again? Asked Alice ventured to ask. Suppose we change the subject, the March Hare interrupted the owner. I'm getting tired of this. I vote the young lady tells us a story. I'm afraid I don't know one, said Alice, rather alarmed at the proposal. Then the Dormouse shall. Me and the March Hare cried aloud. Both cried, Wake up, Dormouse! And we pinched it with both sides at all. The Dormouse slowly opened his eye. I wanted to sleep, he said with a hoarse feeble mouth. I heard every word you fellows were saying. Tell us a story, said the March Hare. Yes, please do, pleaded Alice. And be quick about it, said I, or you will be asleep again before it's done. Once upon a time there were 3 little sisters. The Dormouse began in a great hurry. And their name were Elsie, Lacey, and Tilly. And they lived at the bottom of a well. What did they live on? Said Alice, who always looked at great interest in questions of eating and drinking. They lived on treacle, said the Dormouse after thinking a minute or two. They couldn't have done that, no, Alice said. Alice gently remarked. They had been ill. So they were, said the Dormouse, very ill. Alice tried to fancy herself what such an extraordinary ways of life living would be like, but it puzzled her so much. So she went on. But why did they live at the bottom of a well? Take some more tea. The March Hare said to Alice very earnestly. I have nothing yet. Alice replied in an offended tone. So I can't take more. You mean you can't take less? I say, it's very easy to take more than nothing. Nobody asked your opinion, said Alice. Who's making personal remarking now? Personal remark now? I said for her triumphantly. Oh, Alice sometimes is so... It's a so spoiled brat. So spoiled. Alice did not quite know what to say to this. So she helped herself on some tea and bread and butter, and then turned to the Dormouse and repeated her question. Why did they live at the bottom of a well? The Dormouse again took a minute or two to think about it, and then said, it was a trackle well. There's no such thing. Alice was beginning very angry, but me and the March Hare went shh, and the Dormouse quickly remarked, if you can't be civil, you'd better finish the story for yourself. Oh no, please go on, Alice said very hard. I won't interrupt again. I dare say there may be one. One indeed, said the Dormouse indignantly. However, he consented to go on. And so, those three little sisters, they were learning to draw, you know. What they did draw, Alice quite forget her promise. Trackle, said the Dormouse without considering it at all this time. I want a clean cup, I said. Let's all move on the place. He moved on as he spoke, and the Dormouse followed him. The March Hare moved into the Dormouse place, and Alice, rather unwilling, took the place of the March Hare. The Hatter was the only one who got an advantage from the change, and Alice was a good deal worse than before, as the March Hare had just upset the milk jug into his place. Alice did not wish to offend the Dormouse again, so she began very carefully. But I don't understand. Where they draw the trackle farm? You can draw water out of a water well, said the Hatter. As though as me. So I should think you could draw trackle out of a trackle well, stupid. But they were in the well, Alice said to the Dormouse, not choosing to notice the last remark. Of course they were, said the Dormouse. Well, this answer so confused poor Alice that she let the poor Dormouse go on for some time without interfering him. They were learning to draw, the Dormouse went on, yawning, rubbing its eyes, while he was getting fancy. And they drew a matter of things. Everything that begins with an M. What with an M? Said Alice. Why not? Said the March Hare. Alice was silent. The Dormouse had closed its eyes by this time, and was going off into doze. But on being pinched by the Hatter, it woke up again with a little shriek, kick, and went on. That that begins with an M, such as mousetraps and the moon and Mary and muchness. You know, you say things are much of a muchness. Did you ever see such a thing as drawing as a muchness? Really? Now that you asked me, said Alice, very much confused. I don't think. Then you shouldn't talk, I said for her. This piece of rudeness was more than Alice could bear. She got up in great disgust and walked off. The Dormouse fell asleep instantly, and neither of the others took the least notice of her going. Tooth. She looked back also twice, half hoping that they would call after her. The last time she saw them, they were trying to put the Dormouse into the teapot. Oh, this was very fun when we tried to put the Dormouse in the teapot. oh, I'm so sorry that I did this with poor Dormouse. Anyway, back. We are almost finished. At any rate, I will never go there again, said Alice as she picked her way through the wood. It's the stupid tea party I ever was in all my time. Just as she said this, she noticed that one of the trees had a door leading right into it. That's very curious, she thought. But everything's curious today. I think I may as well go in at once. And she went. Once more she found herself in the long hall and close to the little glass table. Now I'll manage better this time, she said to herself, and began by taking the little golden key and locked the door that led into the garden. Then she went to work nibbling at the mushroom. She had kept a piece of it in her pocket till she was about a foot high. Then she walked down the little passage, and then she found herself at last in the beautiful garden among bright flower beds and the cool fountains. And then she got in the Queen of Hearts croquet ground. What happened with Alice then? Oh, spoilers! Oh, sorry, I had some problem with my recording device. Oh, those tacky things. Alice also don't like it. Oh, anyway, what I would say is, what happened with Alice after she got through the door into the croquet garden from the Queen of Hearts? You need to know by reading Alice's Adventure in Wonderland by Lewis Carrol, and you can find those to buy for device thing, for book things like this one. Oh, let me put this back here before I had some problem with him too. Anyway, and you can buy on bookstores to read physically, and you can find this on any good library on your school, or maybe your city, or nearby your house there will be a library. Oh, but not now. Not now. With all those virus things, it's not a good time to get around. Oh, but there are some places in the internet you'll find. I believe that is this. Alice said me, you can find this book very easily and legally to download. Hope you have lots of good time and have a great experience. Read Alice's Adventure in Wonderland. It's an incredible book full of wonderful and full of mad things. Oh, and I want to just finish. Oh, just a minute to let me take here. Oh, this is my special cup to finish now. It's Felicity. Felicity is my very special tea. And it makes everyone that drinks Felicity feel so warm and good inside and wants to share all good things with everyone else, like I'm doing, like I did with you by reading the Mad Tea Party from Alice's Adventure in Wonderland, right? Bye bye.